Hello everyone, so today we're going to learn about an easy way to put things in order called counting sort. So it's really helpful when we work with list of numbers, especially in computer programming C. So counting sort, a simple sorting algorithm. So as you can see here, sa right side, so this is the flow sa ato ang step by step sa ato algorithm sa ato ang counting sort. So, what is counting sort? So, naata diri introduction to sorting algorithms, defining counting sort, and when to use counting sort. So, what exactly is it? Well, usually, if mag-sort ta og things, di ba ato man dyan na siya i-compare, right? Like, is this toy bigger than the toy? But sa counting sort doesn't do that. Instead, it just counts how many times each number shows up in your missy pile. So itong missy pile nga toys, then once it knows how many of each number there are, it just puts them into their correct spots. So kanang super efficient ra gid siya when you have numbers that are whole, like whole numbers like 1 to 3, not kanang decimal kay lisod man siya basta decimal, and not to kanang spread out jud like age, then from 0 to 100, so dak na siya, so or test scores, diba? Key concepts behind counting sort. So kanang if mag-make ta og counting sort, kung unsaon nato pag kanang pag work, we need a few main ideas, which is this kaning 4 range of input values, counting array, output array, and stability property. Ang range of input values, so counting sort is highly efficient when the range of input values is limited, meaning the difference between max and the mean values is small. So kanang need na to mahibaw-an ang gamay nga number and ang dako nga number sa ato a list. So knowing this helps us set up our counting station. Then the counting array. So there is a counting array, a temporary array storing the frequency of each distinct element. Indices correspond to values content store counts. So kani siya as this is our special helper list, like kanang mo siya kanang scoreboard ana, like something like that. Then we use it to mark down pila ka down, like how many times we see each number from our original nga list. Output array. This array holds the final sorted elements. Information from the counting array places elements directly into their correct position. So kani siya is, this is our final. So mo ni ato final nga kuan kay, di ba? Ato na siya output. So that is our final. Then mo ni siya net list where all the numbers will be placed in order na siya. Then diri asa sa stability property, counting sort is stable, meaning elements with identical values maintain their original relative order in a sorted output. So this is a way of saying that if you have the same number appear more than once, like so ang ilang original nga order magstay ra gihapon siya the same in the sorted list. So this can be important nga some task. Here are the on step-by-step explanation the algorithm. Counting sort. Counting sort is a non-comparison based algorithm. It efficiently sorts elements by counting frequencies and mapping them to sorted position. Mm, so naata diri 3. So which is the finding maximum element, initializing count array and populating count array. Let's walk through how it works step by step. Finding maximum element. Identify the largest value or the max in the input array. This determines the required size for the count array. So, nadiri mo na siya. Maning max value na to. So, first thing first, we look at all our missing numbers and find the very biggest one. So, this is super important, Jude, because it tells us how big our counting array needs to be. Na siya ang finding maximum element. And then, ang initializing count array create an auxiliary array of size max plus 1 and initialize all its elements to 0. So, the auxiliary, I don't know if correct akong pronunciation, but so initializing count array. Next is we create our counting array. Remember nga ang atong scoreboard, we fill every single spot in it with a 0 to start. So mag-start dito sa 0 na. It's like murag natay ka ng empty nga tally sheet. So before you start counting anything, something like that. Then populating count array. Iterate through the input array, incrementing the count for each element and at its corresponding index. So now we go through our original list of missing numbers one by one. For each number, we go to its spot in our counting array and kanang mag-add ta og 1. So for example na if kanang makakita tag number 4, so we go to spot 4 in our counting array, then ato na siya i-increase ang iya count. So if we see another 4 na pod, and then we add na pod another one to spot 4. So this way our counting array will kanang tell us exactly how many of each number we have. So, step-by-step explanation, building the sorted array. So, nata diri 3 kabuok. Ang cumulative sum calculation, placing elements in output array, and lastly, copying the original array. Cumulative sum calculation transforms frequency counts into an array where each value indicates the final sorted position, handles duplicates for stable sorting. After we counted everything, so we go through it and make each spot show not just its own count but also kanang the total count sa tanan numbers before plus itself. So this way kanang each spot in our counting array will actually tell us the exact position where each number should end up in our final sorted list. Placing elements in output array, iterate original array in reverse. Use cumulative sum values to place elements directly into their correct sorted slots in a new output array. Now, we go back to our original missing list. So, but this time, we usually start from the end. So, mag-start sa pinaka-end niya. So, this helps with that stability thing we talked about. So, for each number, we use our special counting array para ma-figure out na to ang iyang exact position in our new sorted output array. Once nga ma-place na natin ang number, so ato na siya i-subtract from its count in the counting array because we've used up one of its spots. Copying to original array. Once all elements are placed in the temporary output array, copy them back into the original array to finalize the sorted list. So finally, once ang tanan numbers are na-arrange na gid siya in our output array, so ato na lang na siya i-copy them back to our original list and boom, sorted. Counting sort C code implementation. Let's see what this looks like in computer code using kanang C language. So function, signature, and parameters. Kana siya kanang void counting sort int r int n. Here, so natay array sa ato list of numbers and ang kanang n tells us how many numbers are in that list. So kaning yan. Then there is a finding max element. Kani nga piece of code kay maka-help ni nato para ma-find nato ang biggest number sa ato ang array list. Then declaring and initializing arrays. So there we're setting up our count and yan nga atong output or ato final list sa ato array. Counting frequencies. So kaning diri nga part sa ato code goes through our array list and adds a tally sa ato count array for every number it finds. Counting sort C code implementation. Let's continue with the C code for the rest of the steps. So kaning tulo, cumulative sum logic, building the sorted array, and copying back to original. The frequency array is transformed into cumulative sum array. Each index I now stores the count of elements less than or equal to I, determining final position. So kani siya determines final position. So making our kanang array ani is tells us kanang the exact final position sa ato ang each number. So muna ang ato munay kanang cumulative, munay mean building the sorted array. So kani siya nga loop carefully takes numbers from our original list and places them into their correct spots in the output array starting from the end. So mag-start na is kanang sa pinaka-end ta mag-start. Copying back to original. Muna siya ato ang final. So muna siya i-move ang all the sorted numbers sa ato output array back into our list. Now it's perfectly sorted. So diri na diri sa right side na makita na example walkthrough. So ano siyang number. Time and space complexity analysis of sorting sort. Now let's talk about how fast counting sort is and how much extra room it needs. Time complexity. So this time complexity. Time complexity, how fast? So unsa man daw siya ka fast ako no. So counting sort is usually very quick, so very dali ra jud siya. So ato na siya i-describe its speed as 0 n plus k. Think of it, ang n kay ato na siyang total numbers ato items nga na to. And ang atong k is muna to range. So that's the difference between your smallest and biggest number plus 1. It's super speedy when ang atong k is dili gid siya kanang dako kaayo nga number. Space complexity. So, kuan siya kanang how much do kuno space. It needs some extra room about okay. So kani siya, this extra room is for our counting array or ato ang scoreboard. Comparison. There's comparison. So kani siya is kanang it can be much faster than other sorting methods like bubble sort or counting sort, but only lang if ang atong number k or kanang atong k is our range kay mas kanang kuan siya gamay. If ang k nato is very very big, very dako, so like mag-sort tag number from 1 to 1 billion, it would need way too much memory and wouldn't be a good choice. Advantages and disadvantages of counting sort. Just like anything, counting sort has its good points and its not so good points. Ang advantage na to kay mo na siya tong pros of counting sort or the good things. Kani siya is very fast. It sorts things incredibly quick. Dali ra gid kaayo siya masort when ang imong condition is sakto lang yun. Then stable pod siya. Remember na if it keeps identical numbers in their original order, which is helpful pod siya sometimes. Then dali ra pod siya masamtan. The basic idea behind it is quite straightforward. Diri na punta mag-proceed sa disadvantages or ang atong cons of counting sort, the not so good things. So kani siya kay only for specific numbers lang. It works best only for whole non-negative numbers, and you can use it easily for words, letters, or numbers with decimal. So dili siya easy. Labaw na tong mga number daw, then the letters and the numbers. And need pud siya og lot of space for big dagkog range. Need jud dako nga space. If ang imong number have a huge range like from 1 to 1 million, for example lang. So the counting array would need and kanang dako og amount of computer memory, which isn't practical. So lastly, muna ni atong summary and conclusion. Takeaways. Ang counting sort is a way to put numbers in order by first counting na kung pila ka number of each nga naa. Rather than comparing them, it's like for list of whole na negative numbers when their range isn't too large. Dili ka siya dako. So when na to pilion ang counting sort. So pick counting sort when you are dealing with mga whole numbers. You know their general range and you need to sort them super quick. And that's all. Thank you.